Brilliant. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for attending our webinar today. This is the fourth webinar in the Power of Power Platform series, and this one is going to be on Copilot Studio. So just a few housekeeping rules at the beginning. This session will be recorded, as we've just mentioned. All attendees will be on mute, but if you do have any questions or you want any comments, please feel free to put them in the chat. All cameras will also be off for the attendees as well. So your speakers today, so it's myself, my name is Karen Moore. I'm a Senior Account Manager here at DigPacks. I've been here for around 5 months now, and my background is working for Microsoft partners for the last 10 years. If we could also just do a little bit of intros, Julia and Josh and Mehmet, if that's okay. So Julia, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'm Julia Banachowska. I am a Power Platform developer here at DigPacks. I'm working here for about a year and a half on various Power Platform solutions.
Hi everybody, my name is Josh Davey. I'm the head of automation at DigPacks. And over to you, Mehmet. Yeah, thank you, Josh. Hi everyone, this is Mehmet. I am part of Digital Sales Enterprise at Microsoft, and I'm working with NHS Trust as Dynamics 365 and Power Platform Solutions Specialist.
Brilliant. Thank you, everybody. So the agenda today will be, we'll talk a little bit about DigPacks for those that haven't met us before. We'll then go into an overview of Copilot Studio. Then we'll be talking about the differences between Copilot Studio and Microsoft 365, or M365 Copilot, as it's also known as. We'll then show some examples of how Copilot Studio can be applied to the NHS. We'll be giving a demo of our SOP app, it's now also known as DigDocs, and a website agent too. Then I'll just close by talking a little bit more about the webinar series that we have and the upcoming webinars in the next few months, and then there'll be a summary and close. As I mentioned, if you do have any questions, any comments throughout, please do put them in the chat. Myself, Mehmet, Julia, or Josh will be answering those questions for you. Of course, if you have any trouble with audio or any other points that you want to raise, again, please do put them in the chat. So just a little bit of information about DigPacks. We were founded in 2019, so for 6 years now, we have been producing low-code, no-code technologies using the Microsoft Power Platform for applications, automations, portals, and now AI with Copilot Studio. We're focused on the healthcare industry, so we work with over 30 NHS trusts, and this is all to deliver value through Power Platform solutions. We're a local consultancy as well, so we have 2 offices, one in Hatfield, one in Cardiff, and we operate throughout the United Kingdom. We're also a trusted partner for Microsoft. We're a certified solutions partner in the Power Platform space, and we're recommended by both NHS England and Microsoft as well. So just to go into what I've just described in a little bit more detail. So we have a catalogue of ready-made Power Platform solutions for the NHS, can be available on local or central tenant. Now these have been developed alongside a lot of NHS trusts as well, focusing on what's important for you operationally and clinically as well. And a number of our solutions are actually featured on the NHS Mail Solutions Store. We are a Microsoft solutions partner for Power Platform. We're a specialist in that area, and so we have regular contact with Microsoft in order to discuss ways to utilize the Power Platform to improve healthcare for both staff and patients. And we operate through agile methodologies, so this allows for a more rapid implementation, which means you have a lot of quicker time to value, especially with the solutions that we have pre-built. Talking a little bit more about the partnerships that we have. So as I mentioned, with Microsoft, we have regular cadences with them, regular visits too. We have regular discussions on the healthcare industry and the NHS, how we can produce solutions together to improve staff and patient care from that too. Mehmet will talk bit later on about some of the funded programs that we have as well. And with NHS England, we kick-started a Pioneers program with them about a year or so ago now. So this was to enable a number of Power Platform solutions to be available on the NHS Mail Store. Started with 5, another 5 is on there now, and we're continually talking about the next phases for other areas such as automations and AI as well. So I wanted to show you just some of the solution areas that we have created here at DigPacks using the Power Platform. So we divided them into 3 areas: there's compliance, workforce and HR, and operations. Now, clinical solutions currently are featured in operations, but as we grow more, we'll have a separate area for clinical solutions as well. So under compliance, some of the solutions I just wanted to highlight was a DPIA app, document management. So this is the DigDocs app that Julie will be showing today, referral migration, for example. In the area of workforce and HR, we have a staff app. Now within that staff app, which is more like a hub, you have separate solutions within there too. So change of circumstances, appraisals, change of working patterns, etc. Have our asset booker solution. So that is enable people to be able to book desks or book car parking spaces or car charging spaces. And we also have a people onboarding app and a feedback app too. In the area of operations, we have Vaccination Hub, waitlist optimization, which is one of our newer solutions, and e-observations for observations on the ward. And just before I hand over to Josh, I just wanted to let you know about a managed service that we've recently launched here at DigPacks. This is a service which allows you to have a number of hours per month where we can help work with you on a backlog of Power Platform solution creations. But it also allows you to have access to all those features you can see on the right-hand side as well. So that's a support portal, a knowledge base, training materials, a library of components for the Power Platform, which are reusable, and access to all of our solution catalog as well. Okay, so I'm just going to hand over now to Josh.
Perfect, thank you, Karen. I'm just gonna share my screen. Hopefully that's coming through. Yeah, perfect, okay. So hi there, everybody. If you've been paying attention within the Microsoft ecosystem lately, you've probably noticed a lot of excitement around Copilot, and you've likely heard that it will be the next next-gen productivity tool, unlock significant transformational benefits, and ultimately revolutionize work. But the question is, what exactly is Microsoft Copilot? And firstly, it's not just Microsoft's answer to ChatGPT, although Copilot does make use of OpenAI models, namely GPT-4 and 4 Turbo. Copilot does offer something truly unique, and that is it leverages the data across your Microsoft tenancy. So by utilizing Microsoft Graph, Copilot can access Exchange mailboxes, OneDrive files, Microsoft Teams data, SharePoint files, and lists. And this means that the responses can be better tailored to your specific business landscape, due to Copilot having more contextual data available from which to anchor from. In addition, Copilot is integrated across the M365 product suite, offering in-app capabilities, which means no more copy-pasting between ChatGPT or your other favorite LLMs. And the features and functionalities are still evolving, but it currently supports things like drafting Word documents, light edits to PowerPoint slides, email coaching in Outlook, and summarization of actions inside of Teams. Now, all of this sounds great, but how is your data being used? And well, that's the other main advantage of Copilot. Your data stays with you. It will not be shared outside of the Microsoft Cloud Trust boundary. It's not going to be shared with OpenAI, and it's not going to be used for any model retraining. It's also worth noting that supplementary Microsoft services can support and control Copilot's access to your data, such as Microsoft Purview, which can be used to classify and label data, helping to prevent unauthorized leakage. And you can even use it to review Copilot prompts and resources across your organization. So back to the original question then, what is Copilot? And well, Copilot itself says that Copilot is an AI-powered assistant designed to enhance productivity by providing intelligent suggestions, automating repetitive tasks, and offering insights across M365 applications. So now that we broadly know what Copilot is, we need to cover the different flavors, and those are M365 Copilot and Copilot Studio. In essence, M365 Copilot is your out-the-box version of Copilot. It's got limited customization options, and it targets personal productivity improvements. Copilot Studio, on the other hand, then, is the platform through which you build agents, and you're going to hear that term a lot today. But these are custom Copilots to address specific business tasks. From a usage perspective, almost anybody can get started with M365 Copilot with minimal training, outside of maybe some prompt guidance. But Copilot Studio does require some specialist knowledge, but as it's part of the Power Platform suite, it is still low code, no code. It's also very reminiscent in some ways of Power Automate and can tie into many of the same actions that you see in Power Automate. In terms of integration options then, M365 Copilot can tie into your tenancy data, and it can perform web-grounded queries. Copilot Studio allows you to leverage that same data, but also allows you to make use of Power Platform connectors for expanded integration options. And this includes custom connectors. So you can create integrations with third-party systems and services and have Copilot interface with them on your behalf. To summarize then, M365 Copilot is an amazing personal assistant tool supporting you in drafting emails, creating slides, or summarizing meetings. Copilot Studio is the extension of M365 Copilot, providing options for you to create agents, which are those purpose-built Copilots. And for the session today, we're going to be focusing around Copilot Studio in particular, but just know that the underlying technology between the two is the same. It's just that Studio is a mechanism for expanding M365 Copilot through those custom agents. And to run things out before I go over some, pass over to Julia for some exciting demos, I just wanted to cover some potential use cases. The first is appointment scheduling. You could create a Copilot to allow patients or users to query appointments, cancel them or reschedule. And this is actually something Julia is going to be covering today. You could use it for summarizing patient notes. This could be used to give an immediate overview of key or critical details pertaining to a patient prior to an appointment taking place. You could use it for policy, document queries and requests, and this is most likely the most common use case that we've seen so far, building an agent to handle policy-related questions. And again, Julia will be covering this today. FOI requests. You could use a Copilot agent to cross-check against past FOI requests and new incoming requests to try to find relevant or pertinent details that can help accelerate those future requests. As well as IT service desk support, you could build a Copilot agent to assist users across your organization with IT-related issues and challenges. And last one I'm going to talk about is triaging. You could look to use a Copilot agent to perform an initial review of incoming referrals, summarizing key points and potentially putting together a recommendation, and then passing over to a human for review. And that review done by Copilot could be against established process, policy, and procedure that you've got documented. Okay, at this point, Julia, I believe I'm handing over to you.
Yep. So thanks, Josh. As Josh has mentioned, we want to go through two applications of Copilot Studio today. One is within the DigDocs app as document management, and the other one was with a Copilot agent that we've called the appointment checker. So if I share my screen. Everybody see that okay? Great. So this is the DigDocs app. To give some context before we go into the Copilot Studio, this application is a product we have developed to help organizations manage internal documentation on things such as regulations, guidelines, standard operating procedures, etc. So it allows users to come into this app and look through which documents have been published if they're unsure on any guidelines or policies that they need to follow. They can be filtered by type, by department, and whether you're viewing active documents or any bookmarks that you have. For users, this app is primarily used to view documents and any of their content, whereas administrators can come in and create new documentation that is then goes through an approval and publishing process for the rest of the organization. So for example, if I were to view this document on emergency preparedness, we can see the description of the document, how long it has left to review, who has created it, and the document itself in its latest published state. Now, what we have done with Copilot Studio here is integrated a Copilot agent with the same SharePoint library that this application uses. So what we can do is open up a Teams chat with what we've called the DigDocs bot and query any document within the DigDocs app. So if I just start the bot off, I can say, for example, can you tell me about emergency response? Then after it regenerates the answer, it should also cite a document that is available with the application. So what we can see here, it has referenced the policy 1018, which is what we've got open in the app here. And it has provided that information from the documents that have been created through the application by various administrators. This allows then query any documents there. It makes it so that the users can look through the app, or this is a much simpler way of talking to a Copilot agent as if they were a co-worker, just asking questions specifically about documentation and having everything referenced. So you don't have to open the app necessarily, you can talk to the agent to get the same information across. Then the other thing we want to take a look at is a Copilot agent that deals with appointments. So what we've done is we've added an appointment agent onto our Power Page demo site. So here we have a section on appointment management, and we have integrated the appointment checker here. So what this has done is this is built to query a Dataverse table, which has a list of patient appointments, and it can tell the user when their appointment is, allow them to change the time or cancel it based on other free slots. So here, if I ask, when is my appointment? It then double checks your personal details to make sure that the appointments returned are only your own. So here, if I were to give my name, it also asks if you know your NHS number. So the other thing with Copilot Studio that we can do is we can add some internal validation to the Copilot agent itself. So here, if I click yes and enter a number such as 123, which we know is not long enough to be an NHS number, the Copilot would actually say that it doesn't recognize that. Would you like to try and enter it again? So if I say yes this time and enter an example NHS number, this is a 10-digit number. It asks you to confirm date of birth. Here I'm just using a test date. And it has returned that I've got these 3 appointments. So this is in the Dataverse table at the moment. I've got the time, the date, and the location of each. What we've also added here is an integration with Power Automate to allow you to cancel the appointments or change them. So if I were to, for example, say I want to cancel an appointment, and then say that I want to cancel the 4:30 on the 24th of February. It says that the appointment has been cancelled successfully. So if I say that it does answer my question, rate the experience, and then say actually I would like something else, and ask for the appointments again. Say no for the NHS number this time. I can now see that that appointment is not on this list anymore. What we can also do here is say we want to change an appointment. And then this time, if we say we want to change the 12:30 p.m. on the 24th, the previously cancelled one has now shown up here as a free slot. At the moment, this agent is just set to look for any free appointment slot within the same location. So there are some free slots set up for the GP surgery as well. However, they don't show here. There is extensibility on this to also connect to certain doctors, locations, things like that. So if I say that, yes, I do want to change one of those slots, say that we want to change to the 4 p.m. on the 24th as well. It's updated and we can now see that that time has changed. And you can also say that you'd like to receive a calendar invite, and the agent will send a calendar invite for that appointment so you have it ready in your Outlook as a reminder. So that is everything I wanted to show on the demos. Now I'll pass back to Karen.
Thank you very much, Julia, for that. Okay, so we're just going to go through now to talk a little bit about the rest of the Power Platform webinar series. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions at the moment about any of the demos that we've shown? We've got quite a bit of time left at the moment. So any questions at all at the moment about what you've seen? Maybe some examples of where you think potentially there could be some applications for Copilot Studio at the moment? Okay, yep, so we've got a question at in here. Which licenses are required for the appointment demo?
So the appointment checker from its current state of play is a proof of concept. So at the moment it is only linked to Dataverse. So I believe a Power Automate license required for the Power Automate connection. And then if there are any further integrations that we were to add to that, it would then need the additional Pro licensing as well.
Okay. How elegantly does the agent handle user errors, date format, input in wrong format?
So it does have error handling in there, which the Copilot does actually, the first time you enter a date incorrectly, it does come up with suggestions for you. So actually, did you mean this date and time? And there is also some validation within the Power Automate flows itself that can return an error to the user saying, I couldn't quite catch that. Would you like to try and enter it again?
Okay, thank you. If you need bit more clarification, just please put that question in the chat and then we'll answer that. It's no problem. Can the app notify if a duplicate appointment has been scheduled for a patient?
That is something that can definitely be added in. The current functionality as it stands is the free slots will only show if they are available. The minute that somebody has booked that slot, it will change to unavailable and therefore not show the next time somebody asks to change their appointment. But a duplicate check can be quite easily implemented.
Yeah, I guess on that note, it's worth highlighting that Copilot Studio it does sit within the Power Platform suite, and the aim of the game is extensibility. You can customize these bots, agents, and the flows that run alongside them to handle specific use cases that you've got. So if duplicate checking is something that you wanted to add in, it's absolutely achievable, as well as any alerts that you might need or any other functionality that would better suit your specific use case.
My colleague Sanjay's put into the chat as well. In the next iteration of this solution, we would have radio buttons to prevent people from having to type in slots, date, time, formats, and just allow end users to select these slots rather than type in a specific format. Okay, any other questions? Anything else that you would think that you'd like to see as part of the two solutions that we've shown at all? And again, like I said, feel free to put it in the chat, or you can send us an email at the end if you want to continue any conversations around them. Okay. So just wanted to finish off by talking a bit more about the webinar series that we have coming up. Oh, just one more question I can see. Could it send the reminders via email or text?
The text integration is something we'd have to look at. I'm not sure of the current functionality of Power Automate with text at the moment. However, the emails are definitely easily done if the patient has an email recorded within the Power Platform space.
Yeah, and also, Julia, I want to add to that. We can actually position another solution within Dynamics 365, which is marketing, can actually create journeys to send those notifications, whatever channel you choose, because it's an omni-channel solution. Yeah, actually, it's possible with integrating with other Microsoft solutions.
Okay. Sanjay's just put in the chat, the demo shows data presented from Dataverse, but through integration and custom connectors, we can talk directly to EPR systems. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay. Well, just wanted to talk very briefly about a special offer that we have at DigPacks at the moment. So if you wanted to discuss, Copilot Studio in more detail, maybe kind of work through an example, if you have any requirements about any Power Platform solutions, if you wanted us to kind of look over one that you've already done, or just provide some training or consulting, we do have a special offer at the moment. So you can have a half day of Power Platform app support for just £99. So if you are interested in this, please do reach out to us. There is a QR code in here as well that you can send an email through to us too. The offer is valid until the end of March, so you have until then that you can contact us and book that in, and the hours need to be used by the end of April. Okay, so I'm just going to hand over to Mehmet to talk about the call to action.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. So amazing use cases actually have been shared today, and the possibility is actually limitless with Copilot Studio right now, and like the impact that will bring to the trusts in terms of clinical and back office operations, I think it's really game changer. And another hot topic is HR help desk, and there has been a lot of conversation going on with other trusts. So we also have a ready demonstration for that. If anyone interested in HR help desk, I'm happy to help. So please reach out to us. We are now 4 people. We used to be 3, now 4 people covering UK NHS trusts across UK. So we also have pre-sales and post-sales fundings that we can provide. We'll help you to create the business case with Vision and Value Workshop. And we have another pre-sales fundings for low-code governance strategy. And as a post-sales, we have low-code deployment accelerator. But on top of this, based on the investment you do, there are some thresholds. We can ask additional post-deployment fundings from Microsoft. And also we do have discounted pricing for NHS trusts. So please feel free to reach out to find out the details. Yeah, thank you. Karen.
Thank you. So as mentioned at the beginning, this was the fourth in the series of the Power Platform webinar series. We have two more after this, which are scheduled in. So we have governance and automation for Wednesday, the 26th of February, and compliance and auditing for Wednesday, the 12th of March. We're also hopefully going to be hosting an in-person event. This is TBC at the moment for the date and for the venue, but it will be in London in May. So if you are interested in registering for these webinars, please feel free to use that QR code. Then that will take you through to the DigPacks website under media. You'll be able to see those webinars listed there, and you can click on the individual links for information and to register as well. So I'd just like to thank you again for attending this Copilot Studio webinar today. I'm going to leave our contact detail up onto the screens. Please feel free to get in touch with us. If there's any questions about Copilot Studio or the Power Platform, please do feel free to reach out to us on here, and we can discuss anything that we showed today or any additional interest that you have within the Power Platform too. So if anybody has any further questions, we've still got time, so we're happy to answer them now. Otherwise, I wish you all a very good day and thanks again for attending.